Can I just preface and say that I'm actually very happy that ZZZ gave us the opportunity to actually use Jufufu before she came out. Because now I can honestly say that, in my personal opinion, I don't think you really need Jufufu on your account to be in a good standing. Now, before anybody attacks me, I want to say this 100%: Jufufu is a good character to have on your account. Absolutely. But do I think that she's worth your, if somebody's been saving for a while, Polychromes? No. I don't think that you should be summoning for her. In fact, I think there's another stun unit that you should be going for instead of her, just as a personal preference. And yeah, you could maybe say it's a bias towards, this character, and that's perfectly fine. We'll get to that here in just a little bit. But of course, before we get into that, like, comment, subscribe, all that wonderful stuff. Don't forget to check out Gamer Subs. Use code TYSTRA for 10% off. We do have the brand new V Duelist Cup coming out this weekend, and I got to tell y'all, it is looking absolutely insane. I'm loving this drop, and I'm going to show you exactly why. And I mean, look at this beautiful drop that's happening that you could get 10% off with at gamersubs.gg using code TYSTRA. The brand new shirt looks freaking awesome. These sweatpants look dope. This new cup looking pretty snazzy. And of course, the zip up hoodie is looking perfecto. So I'm just telling you right now, make sure you use code TYSTRA for 10% off. Or else you're going to miss out on that wonderful savings, baby. I'm just saying. Now, as we dive into what the actual discussion is today, let's take a look at what Jufufu can do, because I think it does need to be talked about a little bit, right? So we dive in here. She's obviously a stun unit, but she is going to be built up kind of like Lighter, right? The only difference is you're not building AP like you would with Lighter. You're building more attack percentage based on, what Jufufu can do. We're going to go ahead and dive into the special here, which I think is what's going to be more important. We go into the EX special. Basically, with this, she's going to deal massive fire damage, get 3 points of momentum, 80 points of might, and these are going to be used towards being able to basically do the aftershock ability, that trigger, pulchra, and all that stuff they're going to be able to do. I think that that's cool. Aftershock is actually a pretty fun mechanic in general with ZZZ, so I'm really, really enjoying that aspect of Jufufu. Now, bear in mind, too, Jufufu is going to be able to buff your characters, right? She's going to be able to give you some crit damage from what it looks like here. When she launches her chain attack, she's going to give crit damage plus 10%. Initial attack is greater than 2,800. Every additional 100 attack further increases the crit damage by 5% up to a maximum of 30%. So if you do have Jufufu at what looks to be you need it 6 times, so 600 extra points at 3,400 attack. She's going to benefit from giving you that much crit damage, which means that you're going to want to build her with a little bit of crit rate, obviously, to make sure that that works out. So, kudos. I think that's really neat. Yeah, she's giving off that crit damage, which is pretty sick. Also, from what you could tell, is that her best in slot partner would probably be yixuan, which means that if you didn't summon for yixuan, you're not going to be able to get this other ability that she has, where the maximum decibels of all characters in the squad increases by 1,000. When an attack or rupture character uses an ultimate, that character gains 300 decibels. Now, of course, you could use an attack character as well, so you don't just have to use yixuan, but yixuan is probably going to be her best partner. Suffice to say, though, there are plenty of attack characters that really do benefit from Jufufu. Obviously, we got Evelyn, we got Hugo, we got obviously Anby, we got the new Ellen Jo, upgraded Ellen Jo, obviously, and of course, why did I say you? Shuyen. Zhu Yuan, whatever you want to call her at this point. I keep on forgetting how to pronounce her name. There are obviously other characters as well, but obviously when we're looking at Pridewind's list, I'm going to take a look at more of the Apex / higher tier meta characters. Now, again, I want to preface this. It doesn't mean that Pridewind is the end-all, be-all, right? I want that to be clear. I use it as a gauge, so please don't attack me in the comments. I'm just saying, man. But of course, we also do have her regular chain attacks, which are pretty standard for the character. The main focus of Jufufu is taking advantage of these core passives that she's got, followed by also her special attacks, gaining that momentum, gaining everything that you need in regards to like momentum and might, and being able to actually have that aftershock ability while also providing stun coverage. So for her, she's a great stun unit. And while she's very good at buffing, the fact remains is that I do think that Lighter is a little bit better, at least in the feel of the character. But of course, it depends on what you're looking at. Now, for me, AP characters, and for a lot of people as well, uh, do a lot better. And Lighter does benefit from having that, anomaly proficiency, as we've seen as time goes on. However, he's going to be mainly stun and doing damage, while Jufufu is going to be aftershock, buffing, while also stunning. So it really depends on how you're building your core team. Are you building a Yixuan team? Well, Jufufu is going to be great for that team. But at the same time, any character that's either part of her team, like Yixuan or Mr. Panda Guy, obviously, or anybody in the attack like specialty will benefit from her. By the way, want to backtrack a little bit. She's actually not going to get or give the benefit really to Pan Yin Hu. But at the same time, they're part of the same squad, so I kind of like to put them in there. But at the same time, I realized it was attack and rupture. Don't sue me, right? But I also want y'all to take the time to think about who else is on this banner. Because at the same time, we do have two A ranks. Bless you! Jesus Christ. We have two A ranks that are not exactly meta or even helping you in that regard. Another bear character, Ben Boy over here, is not really good. Probably one of the worst characters in the game right now because he just doesn't really do anything. And then, of course, you have Caesar getting the rerun. So probably going for Caesar might be the better option in that regard if you're going for a defensive unit. But with him as the A rank, it's not really looking too good. And then we also got Corrin. And Corrin isn't exactly that good either. She's probably going to benefit a little bit more from being a part of Jufufu's banner because she is an attack specialist character. However, she's all the way down here, right? She's not doing so good. Funny enough, Pridewind actually puts her above Nekomata, which is absolutely crazy to me. I think that's kind of crazy. It's just in general, but that's just me. So when you're really combining not only Jufufu being the character that she is, alongside the A ranks that are there, and with the contrast of Caesar being this good defensive unit, it's really kind of hard for me to say that Jufufu is a must summon. But I will say this, I won't blame any of y'all for summoning for Jufufu because, well, the buffing is great. Getting 30% crit damage off of her skill, if you get that 3400 attack, is really good. And then being able to team her up with maybe your newly acquired Yixuan or any of your attackers, obviously, is a plus because giving the buff to attackers is always needed. I think it's great. But at the same time, I feel like for her, if I'm going for like a stun type of unit, I'm probably going to go for Lighter just because Lighter kind of fits in a little bit better. Can be that DPS if need be. If I'm going for support, I already have Astra Yao given those buffs, and sure, Jufufu can add to it, but I don't know. I just feel like Jufufu is skippable, especially with the A ranks too not being so great. I want to know what units are coming in the future because then I feel as though Jufufu can be told if it was worth it or not. However, it seems like a majority of the time, the newer units are always going to do better, and in this light, Jufufu is not really someone that I think is going to beat out certain characters. I mean, it's just how I feel. Now, again, Jufufu is not bad. Jufufu is decent and probably good. As you see on Pridewind, they think that she's up there. But I also feel like if she can do just as good as Lycion, I'm going to go for Lycion. If she's going to do not as good as Lighter, I'm probably going to go for Lighter. But again, it really depends on what you're going to use her for. So I don't want anybody thinking like I'm saying that Jufufu is bad. She's not. She's got that ability to do the crit damage stuff. So I'm going to quit yapping now and ultimately just say these final words. Make sure that you're not spending your money. Don't do that, especially if you're not 100% on that you want the unit. Don't be a gambling addict like me. I'm just saying I do it so that you don't have to. But that's going to be it, y'all. What the hell was that? That's going to be it, y'all. Love y'all to death. And as always, we will catch you in the next video. Please take care and be safe.